WTMA.
You're listening to the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show on the Big Talker, 1250 WTMA and WTMA.com.
Welcome back, Charleston. Thanks again for tuning in to the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show here on the Big Talker, 1250 WTMA. The number here in the studio, if you'd like to be on the program, is 843-556-1250. 843-556-1250. Would love to hear from you guys. If you have any questions or comments or any stories you'd like to share, again, the number here to be on the program this morning is 843-556-1250. Now, if you'd like to reach out to me personally and talk about your real estate needs, talk about a plan that we can put together to help you sell your home or buy another, I'd love the opportunity to do that. My number personally is 843-400-8009, 843-400-8009, or you can visit us online at listingsincharleston.com. That's listingsincharleston.com, or you can send me an email, Brian, B-R-I-A-N, at brianbeattyteam.com. So I want to continue this discussion about getting serious about selling your house and what some of these differences are now, this time of year, and this year in general versus maybe years in the past. And I think a lot of it has to do with just confusion in the marketplace. Are we going up, down, sideways, forwards, backwards, appreciating, depreciating, flatlining? What's happening out there? And we talked a little bit earlier in this program about the state of the market and how, frankly, the numbers just don't tell the right story about what's truly happening in our market. And so if I could sum it up for you really quickly, what's happening in these areas that are starting to stagnate, that are starting to change, is that the rate by which properties are appreciating in value is slowing down. You know, if you consistently play this game of leapfrog pricing, meaning, you know, John and Sally list their home down the street for $225,000, and well, my home's nicer than that. I'm going to list mine for $232,500, and the neighbor down the street says, well, hey, I got a screened-in porch, and they don't. I'm going to list for $245,000, and then it just keeps going and going and going until at some point in time you have a collection of properties that are just overpriced. And so you have this, and this happened in my neighborhood. I remember before I bought the home that I live in now, this was about 3 years ago. We had done a very nice renovation to that house. Loved that house. We just replaced the roof and the windows, and then this home pops up, and we weren't even looking. And my wife said, look at this. And I was like, oh, that price can't be right. It was a for sale by owner. They underpriced their property, and we bought it. It was an awesome deal, and I love where I live, and it was the right place at the right time. We weren't even looking to move. But when we sold our house, we priced our home to sell. There were a bunch of other properties in our neighborhood that were kind of similar in size. Some were on the water, some weren't. And we said, you know, we're going to price this thing to sell. I think we had 25 showings in a matter of 2 weeks, and we had a 5-month-old daughter. That's fun, leaving the house for an hour with a 5 months old, you know, multiple times per day. That's why I get it. I understand how irritating it can be when your home is on the market and you essentially have to get kicked out of your house so other people can walk through it, only to find out that they can't afford it. They're not interested in buying it right now. They can't move right now. It's a total frustration. It's one of the worst phone calls we get as listing agents. But when I sold my house, I knew that all these other properties were sitting. I priced my home aggressively, and it sold. And it sold for a great price. These other homes continued to sit. And then, by the time the homes that were on the market ultimately sold, they sold for a lower price per square foot than I did. And it's because they got stale. They waited too long to adjust their price. And the longer a property sits on the market, the less, the lower the number of buyers interested in your home become. The longer the home's on the market, the less interest there is among buyers. So when a buyer does come along and they are interested in your property and they know it's been on the market for 8 months, they're fairly certain that they're the only person interested at that point in time, which gives them leverage. And that's what's starting to change, is that properties are sitting on the market longer. We've seen a 25% increase in the number of price reductions on homes for sale this year because properties are sitting on the market longer. Because we continue to put inventory on the market that initially is overpriced. You've seen the listings that hit the market and boom, they're under contract in a matter of days in all price ranges. Because it works for us in all price ranges too, when we price the home appropriately and we work on the condition and we make some repairs, we work on staging, we do the professional photography and videography and make it look awesome online. When we do all those things correctly, and this is the big kicker here, we're in the right place at the right time, and we get a little lucky. Yes, I said it. There's an element of luck to selling real estate. The buyer for that property has to exist, right? Then it's just a matter of hiring a real estate agent that knows how to, broadcast your home to all these different people, as well as proactively identify people that might be a good buyer for that house, and then market to them. But not just market to them. Once that person expresses interest, have a system in place to ensure that once they're interested, that they actually communicate with the listing agent. See, so many of these websites and systems out there are obviously for profit, and they're charging us as real estate agents to use them. Zillow is a perfect example. Look at all the listings on Zillow where you see a property, you look at the photos, you read the description, and then you say, okay, I'm interested. I want more information on this house. And then at the bottom, there are 4 agents to choose from. That's what the vast majority of listings on Zillow look like right now. And so as a seller, if I'm selling my house and, I go on Zillow, which we all know is the number one website out there for real estate, and I'm looking at the listing and I'm fact checking and I say, yeah, it looks good. But then I scroll to the bottom and there are 3 random people attached to my listing. I'm going to be confused by that as a seller, because I don't want those other random people that don't know anything about my house to talk to people interested in my house. How can I guarantee that those buyers actually make it to my house? If they're talking to some other random agent, maybe that agent is interested in selling them their listings. Remember, that agent is just paying for leads, but's a bozo and doesn't know how to talk to that buyer about my listing, and they lose interest, and then they go and they find something else with someone else. The point I'm trying to make here is this. When I sit down with sellers and we talk about marketing, I make it very clear that I could pay for all the marketing in the world. But if I don't have an efficient process for capturing the information of those buyers and then talking to them about your house quickly, then we are losing opportunity. So it's not just about the creation of the interest. It's about the control of the flow of information. That's what nobody's talking about. That's where I sit down and I educate my clients and I help them understand. So let's just say that you go online and you want more information on your own home. Here's what would happen with other agents. Here's what's going to happen with me. And that difference right there is enough for the sellers to be like, holy cow, I had no idea. There are all these different types of little epiphanies that people have when we sit down and we talk about the process that people just don't know. And kudos to, some of these larger websites and just the industry in general for, continuing to make real estate this smoke and mirrors show. I mean, our industry is fairly elusive. And that's part of the goal of this program, is to peel back the curtain on this industry and help you better understand what you're about to get yourself into when you hire an agent, when you put your home on the market, when you decide to buy a home, when you talk to a lender, when you talk to someone like me, a listing agent that's going to meet with you and tell you how we work together with you to help you sell your house. And so when we come back, I want to talk about this kind of final stage here, which is putting the property in the best condition possible, how we do that, what are some of the services that we offer that help our clients do that, and why I think some for sale by owners that just don't have access to all of these tools and information and marketing channels are going to have a little bit of a tougher time selling their home moving forward than they have in months and years past. So stick around for the last 15 minutes or so here of the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show. And remember, call into the studio, 843-556-1250, 556-1250, and stick around. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned for more of the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show on 1250 WTMA and WTMA.com.
1250 WTMA.
Now, the Brian